All right, I think I'm almost back. All right. All right, mic check. Can you get, okay, hold on. One more thing to change. Yes. Can you guys hear me? Talk, let me see if I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
All right, lovely. Yes, so you know how it is. Sometimes the computer will just choose to freeze whenever it feels like. So, we just have to work with it. All right. So, what was I saying? All right. I was speaking about class participation, right? So, I was saying that as you guys know, we keep ad hoc or random activities that happen throughout the semester. We don't know when those activities will pop up, but whenever they do, it goes towards your participation grade, right? If you miss it, then you miss out on that grade, but all you have to be is just be there. It might be anything from, I don't know, doing some kind of activity on mirror board, or just some kind of random trivia question, or just locating something on the internet. Whatever it is, just make sure you are around and alert, right? In order to collect that free 10%, right? All right. The class attendance is automatically recorded with Zoom, but as you can see, we are not grading for attendance, we are grading for participation. All right, cool. Zoom chat. This is something that we introduced last semester, but I didn't have you guys last semester. You would have had Architect Malela. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, my camera. Yes, there we go. All right, there I am. Right. So you would have had Architect Malela for BIM. I'm not sure if she used Zoom chat to communicate with you. What platform did she use? Or just emails?
It was normally emails.
All right, cool. All right. So with my module, do this thing again. Please don't crash. Okay, good. Right. So with my modules, I will be using Zoom chat. Zoom chat is just like WhatsApp, right? So it runs on your phone. You can send messages and voice notes and JPEGs and PDF, whatever you want to send. And the Zoom chat works with the same Zoom account that you guys are connecting to me on right now, right? So we're going to set this up in this class. In order for Zoom chat to work, I need to send you an invite, and we're going to be in a group. And that's the quickest way that we get information passed around. So if there's something you're not sure of, maybe there's something on the assignment, maybe there's an error, or I don't know, your computer exploded or something. The two ways that we communicate is via Zoom chat and email, right? Zoom chat is for more instant communication, right? So don't reach out to me on WhatsApp, reach out to me on the Zoom chat. And don't worry, you don't have to message me in the group where everybody is seeing business, right? You can just message me personally in Zoom chat, or you can post stuff in the group, right? So if there's any change, especially that we're going to have to coordinate with some kind of a site visit for this module, you can we'll be sending updates in the Zoom chat. All right, so we're going to set this up today. You don't have to have the paid version of Zoom. The free version, it don't matter. All right. I think it's me that have to have the paid version to invite you. Now you can only be invited to Zoom chat. Like you can't just jump on into the group. So this is why it's important. We're going to do the class registration, which is what we do every semester, where there's a section on the website where you click register, where you register for the class. And I want all of us to do that today, because that is the list that I use to send you the invite to the Zoom chat. All right. And this, I know that you've done this already last year. The information change, so this keeps us up to date. All right. So, all right. So we're going to be using Zoom. I know that's like duh, but yeah. And we're going to be using emails. And my email is, it's not here. No, it's brian.williams@utech.edu. Some of you probably know this already. So if you need to email me anything, now usually for emails, the advantage of emails is paper trail. All right. So if you are going to be requesting something of me, something that has to do with maybe a medical or something to do with the module, and it involves UTech administration any at all, it has to be via email. So let's, suppose there is an exemption or there is some mix up with your registration, that kind of stuff. We would want to have email trails of those, because those would be very useful when we have to, if we have to like send evidence of whatever. But for the most part, most times during a module, we communicate via the Zoom chat, and it's quick and it's easy. You just whip out your phone and just say, hey, Mr. Williams, the submission button is missing. And I'll just respond and say, okay, I'll do that in 5 minutes, right? And way quicker. All right. Okay. Any questions about that mode of communication? Anybody?
Oh, sir. Okay.
Nope. All right. Pretty straightforward. Moving on. As usual, all of the class recordings are going to be under the record button on the site. Right. We use AnyDesk for troubleshooting, and you guys probably have Mr. Campbell's number already. Or you guys probably have the number for the lab tech in the CSA office, right? But hopefully one of those persons can help you out with any requests that you need, any programs that's not working, or you need to get a program or something like that. You just reach out to Mr. Campbell, and he can, and if it is something that he has to fix on your computer, then make sure you download AnyDesk, because that's what we use. Most of us already know about our digital whiteboard mirror. You've been doing that for the last 3 years. This year is no different. A lot of our class activities, especially in my module, will take place on Mirrorboard. All right. Especially the ones that are graded under class participation. So you want to give an eye on your Mirrorboard, which you can find right here. There we go. When you go on the module, of course, there's a link here to the class whiteboard. From time to time, the whiteboard might be marked as read only, right? Meaning you can't edit it. So like right now, it's set to view only, so you can view. When you see these closed eyeballs, those are just activities that we're going to be taking on during the semester. So you want to be present at class when these activities become open. We don't know when they will be open. I don't even know. I mean, I could just say, we're going to do activity 2 now. And if you're here and you take place and you do it, then that's great for you. So you want to be ready to go whenever these activities become available. All right. All right. And everybody should be familiar with using Mirrorboard already. So I don't have to go into that, all being well. All right. Good. So, of course, you guys can use the lab to do work if you please, or you can use the, there we go, right, or you can use your own personal computers. That's pretty straightforward. As I think you would have seen this slide already, this is what is recommended for the computing modules. We need to have 2 screens, all right? Please, I hope by now you guys have some kind of additional screen, right? You need one for when we're doing demonstrations and the other one for maybe Zoom or whatever you, right? So if you can steal your TV screens or acquire a tablet, or you can just use your phone, but a second screen is recommended. As usual, I recommend that we use OneNote as a digital note-taking tool, right? Especially that we're working remotely. So some activities that we do in the class are based in OneNote. So OneNote comes default on all Windows computers, and you can install it on your phone, and it's all real-time and updates. Anybody here uses OneNote as their daily driver? Not if you open it one day and close it. Anybody use it as their daily driver for note-taking? Oh wow, nobody. All right. I'm curious. What other note-taking app do you use? Anybody?
I'm sorry, you have Notion.
Oh yeah, Notion. Isn't Notion Apple?
It's multi-platform, sir. Any platform.
Okay, cool. All right, that's good. Anybody else? No? You use a physical book?
Sometimes, yes, sir.
All right. Let me get a temperature on anybody else. Like Brianna, what note-taking app you use?
I use Notion, sir.
You're a Notion fan. All right. Anybody use any? Brittany, what do you use? I'm just calling names randomly.
I use Google Keep sometimes, or just handwritten.
Okay, cool. All right, great. Right. So OneNote kind of acts like a notebook. And of course, the different software. Remember, for technical assistance, you can call Mr. Campbell. Of course, SketchUp is kind of free online. ArchiCAD is free with your student ID. There is some change with the Autodesk programs in the lab. If you guys use the lab, Autodesk has recently changed their arrangements for institutions that use their program. The last thing I heard from the lab tech is that in the lab, in order to use like Revit and those programs, you will have to sign in with your UTech credentials, because they don't allow the lab to have like 20 different computers with 20 different Revit, for example. Now, all the Revits there, when you go in and click on it, Autodesk is going to pop up and say sign in, and you just sign in with your UTech email. So that is one change. I guess it's a little annoying, but you can look out for that. If you don't use the lab, then it doesn't really affect you. All right. Right, and some other programs that we might use. We won't be doing any kind of video editing this year. You'll do that next year. But you might you might use Lightroom, and you will definitely be using the the grand three, I call them, right? Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign. This module is the module where you will be using so many programs, not because I'm telling you to use it, but because you just might need to get something from a particular program to achieve your objective. So there is a range of rendering program out there, and this module allows you to explore, right? And we're going to learn a little bit about that in the practical session coming up. All right, 11 to 12 to 1. Okay, right. This is a 2-hour lecture. Okay. All right. All right. So that kind of takes care of this. All right. Housekeeping. Your computing lectures for this academic year. You know everybody here already, perhaps except architect Tamara Bradshaw, right? She will be the one that will be teaching the latter half of the module, and she will be taking you through the BIM collaboration as component. I'm still going to be around, right? I'm still here. Like, I'm not like going to a different planet. So, but officially she will be your lecturer. All right. And the other persons here, you may not see them because you're not doing the other modules, but this does kind of give you an overview of which lecturer is doing what module, right? So you see Mr. Barr will be joining you this semester. So you will have him in two capacities, in Design Studio and in Advanced Computing 1. Is that good news or is that scary news? What kind of news is that? Anybody? Spence, is that good news or bad news for you? You there, Spence? No? Tara, you there?
Which one?
All right, sorry, Thomas. The Taras are back.
Yes, sir. Could you repeat?
Is that good news or bad news that your Design Studio lecturer will also be your Advanced Computing 1 lecturer? For you, in your opinion, this is just an opinion. Nothing will be held against you in court.
So I guess it's good news, but yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It will make for an interesting journey through this module, right? Anyway, all right. Okay, good stuff. So that is pretty much it for our housekeeping. If there are no questions about this, I would like to run through our module schedule for the semester, and that will be the last thing that we discuss today. So the class might be a little shorter, but I am going to see you again in an hour, right? Well, at least.
Oh, sorry, you're teaching.
Say again?
I'm saying you're teaching the 2 o'clock class.
Right. And that is what we're going to be going into now. We're going to be talking about this interesting schedule arrangement that we're going to be doing. And we're hopefully going to iron out to make sure that this works for everybody, right? So all right, here we go. I'm going to that, yeah. All right. right, here we go. All right, so the very first thing that I want us to iron out, right, is gonna be more. There we go. The very first thing I want us to iron out is our schedule. Now there are two sessions that are available for advanced computing 2, right? There's one on Wednesday at 2, and there's another one at Saturday at 2. Is there anybody here that has selected the Saturday class? No?
No, I did not.
All right. So everybody here. So let me repeat again, right? For those of you who are, if you are sleeping, time to wake up. Is there anybody here who has selected the Saturday class for Advanced Computing 1? Because there are two slots that are on the timetable. No? All right. What I'm wondering is there may be a clash, right, for some persons. Like maybe you have some kind of university module doing, so that's why you've selected the Saturday class. But I know for the most people would not necessarily be choosing the Saturday class, right? Now, because there are 2 positions for Advanced Computing 2, some of the classes, especially the measured survey, will quite likely be on a Saturday, in that Saturday slot, right? So usually how UTech arranges their schedule is if a class has a certain amount of persons, usually over 15 or that amount, UTech will have more than 1 slot available for you to choose. And when you go on your portal, I think I'm not sure if they assign you or you get to choose. Did you guys get to choose which slot, or did they just assign you one?
But I think that was assigned.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, sorry, there's a beep. So what happens is that we are going to be doing most of the classes on Wednesday, right? So you're going to end up, so everybody is going to end up coming to a lecture from 11 to 12. From 11 to 1. And then there's a 1-hour break, and then you come back for a 4-hour between 2 and 6. Right? So that is, those of you who have that on your timetable, can you, by the show of hands, confirm that you are all seeing from 2 to 6? Anybody remember to raise their Zoom hand? Right? You just click the little. All right. Or you know what? Maybe I should have asked it the other way. Those who are not seeing 2 to 6 on their timetable, can you raise your hand? Anybody that's not seen? All right. Okay. All right, that looks like everybody. All right. Okay, so good. So that is our little housekeeping that I just want to make sure is compatible, because every student must get the same amount of lecture hours. So as I said, for 70% of the course, about that, we will be doing it pretty much the whole day Wednesday, from 11 o'clock all the way to 6 o'clock. And this is why when you look on the class website, you notice you have 11 to 6 here, because pretty much I just group everything in one schedule and just call it 11 to 6. Now, in most cases, it won't be 11 to 6, right? And this is the important part, guys. If you come early, there's a chance of leaving early. But if you come late, A, you might miss out the class, and B, you might end up staying later, right? So I'm very aware that you guys have studio on Tuesday and Friday. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Right. So I know that coming out of studio on a Tuesday, you might be like, I need to finish this thing for my studio on Friday. But remember our agenda for advanced computing. We are aiming to finish the bulk of work before your final crit, right? So that you don't have a choice between, coming to class and failing studio, which that is a big no-no for everybody, right? But failing anything should be a no-no, right? So with that said, though your timetable goes from 11 all the way till 6, high possibility that if you come from 11, we can be finished before 6 o'clock for the most part. Because unlike your other modules that you've been doing in second and third year, in fourth year, the computing modules are not teaching you a particular software, right? In our minds, you guys have already learned the software, so we are now going to be showing you how to combine the software together to get some amazing architectural visualization, right? So you should already know what the buttons to press, and we're not going to be dictating that you must use Illustrator. You can use anything you want, but we are going to guide you in how you use the program. All right. So with that said, that will be our schedule. Now, this bubble diagram that you're looking at, all of this information is taken from the syllabi for this module. All right. And so the module aims to explore techniques in digital media to achieve essentially advanced visualization techniques. And what do we mean by advanced visualization? We're going to look on that in the next slide. The other major item is that students will be taught how to plan, execute collaborative workflow to produce drawings using a BIM project environment. That is super important, guys, because the industry is now shifting into BIM from CAD. So we've shifted from hand drawings to CAD, and now we're shifting from CAD to BIM. So when you guys go out there, chances are you'll be using ArchiCAD, Revit, or one of those programs. Tara, you have a question? Tara Thomas.
Yes, sir. So I have a question based on the timetable. I picked my courses, and what I saw for the class from 2 to 6, it was on a Monday. And then it switched to Saturday. But the reason why I didn't pick any classes on a Saturday is to avoid to avoid having classes on a Saturday. I'd rather wish to have the class on a Wednesday. So could I change the classes? But it's on a Saturday. I'm seeing on my timetable. However, Saturday cannot work for me. So I'm asking if you could switch to the Wednesday because I don't have any classes at time.
Right. So
Yeah.
the answer to the question is yes. Please do have the classes on Wednesday, right?
Okay,
because
thank
the way that we're going to run advanced computing is that we want everybody to come in the practicals whenever it's being held, right? So, for example, like when you did BIM, you maybe half of the class went to one time and another half went to another time. But in advanced computing one, we want everybody to come to the one practical class. All right? Okay. So this little bubble diagram you're looking on is looking on the how the module is set up. So the three main items we're going to look on is we're going to explore advanced visualization techniques. We're going to explore how we perform a measured survey using advanced technology. So we're talking about 3D scanning. We want to explore apps that you can use to do measured survey. You guys already know how to do a measured survey. Hopefully, you know how to hold the tape, and you know about proportions and triangulation and all these things. So it's not about those fundamentals, but rather how can you use technology to make the process quickly, you know, because you guys are about to leave CSA. So when you go into a firm, you know, production time is what is key, right? And of course, the kryptonite of CSA. What is the kryptonite of CSA? Everyone would agree. It's group work, right? Or we have some people here that love group work. Is there anybody here that loves group work?
I think so, sir.
Right. And by right, group work should be easier. But every time I mention group work, it's like, no, sir, I don't want to do any group work. I don't. Architecture is a very collaborative industry. Oh yes, there is no choice but to work in groups in architecture. So we're going to explore a little about how some techniques of working in groups and in teams and collaborating in teams. So those are our main things that we're going to be looking on. In exploring visualization techniques, it's going to spin off into an assignment, which we're going to look at, and from the learning how to work as groups, and from the measured survey, that is going to spin off into learning BIM collaboration and producing working drawings in BIM. Right, so that is pretty much what we'll be doing. You know, it's kind of a short course because literally you're only dealing with two things, kind of, right? This is just a rough idea of how the module will be laid out, right? So for the first about 5 weeks, you will have me, all right? So this is me. Sorry about the bad handwriting. I'm actually using the mouse to write. I don't have a tablet, so yeah. Hopefully you can survive. Somewhere in the middle of the semester, we will have the measured survey, and that will be primarily run through Andre. All right, that would be Mr. Barr, Architect Barr. And in the latter half of the module, we will be doing BIM collaboration, and that will be primarily run by Architect Tamara Wallace. All right, so that is how we're going to set up this module. And this little incy Studio-based project that you see here, well, this is, I would say, the good news. So let me say good news, and I'm put a smiley face there because everybody will be happy with this assignment, and you will see why. This is where you can earn a free 20% grade. Does that sound unbelievable or what? Chantal, does that sound good? Free 20% grade? Or is it too good to be true?
It sounds good, sir.
Sounds good? All right. All right, great. All right, so this is our general schedule. Now, what you will notice is on your module page, you're probably used to this by now, but there's always a timeline at the top of your modules page. And this timeline goes into a little bit more detail, like what dates, what will be doing. So for example, you can see the assignment here. If you click on it, you can see that, the assignment goes from, the date can't fit in this text here, but it goes from the 30th of August, which is today, to September 27th, right? So this timeline gives you exact dates of when things are going to be scheduled. And this little red writing down here is very important. What it is saying is that the timeline is it is a living timeline. It's going to get changed. There are things that are going to pop up at some point. You guys will be begging me, sir, we can't make it to class because we have to do our design studio work. And because of that, I will be sculling your class, right? Well, I hope at least there is some mention of it and you guys does not show up to class. But you know what will be the very interesting thing here? The very interesting thing is that Mr. Barr will be the one that is teaching Advanced Computing 1. So in a way, if you skull class for studio, you're sculling Mr. Barr's class for Mr. Barr's class. So I don't know how that will work out. But I find that a little funny. So anyway, we don't have to worry because there will be no sculling of any class. Everybody will attend class to the class on time and hand in assignments on time. Can I get an amen?
Right, that's it.
Oh, we're not off to a good start at all. Anyway, all right. I have faith in you guys. All right, moving along. Let's go back to this right here. No, not that one. This one. I think it's this one. Right. Okay, good. So your assignment 1 is going to be worth 30%. The measured survey is going to be a whopping 50%. Don't miss that. All right. Your free 20% grade. Oops. Go back. These 2 grades here are going to be free. All right. A free 30%. We already know how to achieve our free 10% grade, right? Because we explained that earlier, right? So, Jalil, how do we achieve our free 10% grade?
Oh, by participating in class, answering questions.
All right. And you just participated, but you're not going to get 10% for that still. You know, you have to do it throughout the semester. So, yeah. All right.
That's unfair, sir.
So let's talk about the other free 20% that we have here. Come on, go back. Right. So let's talk about this other free 20% that we have here. In a little bit. Before we talk about that, let's deal with these 2 guys here, right? Because that is where the money is, right there, right? So obviously, doing these 2 alone will not get you past the finish line, right? You must do these other 2 items here, okay? Okay, so BIM has 3 units. The way that UTech courses are organized in other modules, you might hear them say, you know, you have different units and each unit is basically a different topic. So there are 3 overarching areas that we'll be doing in AC1, right? And that will be advanced visualization, a BIM measured survey, and collaboration. Those are like the 3 key topics, all right? We are going to cover the assignment 1 when you come back after the lunch break, right? But in a nutshell, we are going to be learning how to create awesome architectural visualizations. And when I said that, I'm not talking about photorealistic necessarily, but we're going to actually dedicate time for you to explore how to build your visualization skills, right? And that's as much as I'll say with that, because we're just doing a quick overview, right? So I'm going to go back through these as we go back, as we when we come back after the break. The measured survey, that's going to be the 50%. It will be broken down into other parts. That will take place in the middle of the semester. And the measured survey that we do is usually doubled as a kind of a UTech giving back to the community, because we usually turn over the best drawing over to the entity that we are measuring. So these were some that were done in the past. And this is Miss Denise Ramrat. She is now retired, but she used to run this part of the module. And this is getting to that free 20% that I spoke about, right? So what's going to happen is that when we're doing assignment 1, that's the advanced visualization, we're going to be learning how to do these awesome visuals, right? How do we achieve unique presentation techniques using a myriad of tools? You guys will be mastering this. And when you master your technique, these are all techniques done by students. At the beginning of the course, the person said, I would love to learn how to do this. And at the end of the course, this is what they produced. So obviously you can see that the person, this particular student, managed to achieve their goal, right? And that is essentially what this assignment does. You take a bit of artwork and you say, I would love to learn how to produce this. And at the end of this assignment, this is what was produced, right? What do you guys think of that? Do you think that this was achieved here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, that brings me back to my other point of the free 20% grade. Now, check this out. This student wanted to learn this technique. So they did assignment 1 to learn the technique. And this image that you're seeing here is taken from their final project in this semester for Design Studio. Look at this other one. This was from another student. This is a technique that they wanted to learn. They did learn the technique in assignment 1, and they used that technique to provide to create this, which is their Design Studio sheet. Now, all you will be doing is using the technique that you mastered from assignment 1 and use it to produce any work on your Design Studio. Any work, whether it's the floor plan, the section, whatever work you're doing. And all you do is submit that sheet to prove that you have indeed used this technique in your Design Studio, and you get 20% grade. How does that sound, Brittany?
Sounds quite good, sir.
So literally, you submit one of your Design Studio sheets that you are doing for Design Studio in this module, and you get graded for it. So you're basically not doing any additional work. You're not doing a whole new assignment. Instead, you're just submitting your studio project that you had already done to us for us to see if you have mastered the technique that you wanted to master. And that is it. That is your other free 20%. All right, so in a nutshell, that is what this module is all about. You'll be mastering a visualization technique, and you'll be doing a measured survey using BIM collaboration. Those are like the two main items. To the are there any questions based on this breakdown that you just saw? Everybody understand? Tavani, do you understand the breakdown?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right, good. Miss Fisher, do you understand the breakdown? This is the other Tamara. Okay. All right, good. Okay, the first Tamara seemed to have answered for the other Tamara. I saw your message. Okay, all right. Now, before you guys leave class today, I need you to do one thing for me. I want everybody here to go to the class website. And you're going to click the register for class button up here, right? Because after this week, this class will be passworded. I don't know if you remember the other modules, the website has a password because, you know, security and all. So next week, the class will be locked, and everybody who signed up for the class, you will get the password in their email. So I need everybody right now to go ahead and click register for class so that I can get your information. And then when you come back at 2 o'clock, I don't think that will be a long class as well. It may be a little shorter. That will depend on you guys and what we have to do in that module. So when you guys come back at 2, is it 2 o'clock? Yes, it's 2 o'clock, right? Hopefully by then you would have gotten an invite to the class Zoom group, because I would send out the invite based on who has registered. Once you have registered, you are free to go. And that is it for our class today. Is there any questions? Any questions?
Family.
No questions. Manika, do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
No questions, Manika?
No, sir.
All right. No questions, Brittany. No questions. All right. Okay, well, that's it. I just need you to register for the class. And after you have registered for the class, then you are free to depart. All right. And then I will see everyone again. When will I see you again now? I will see you again at 2 o'clock. All right.
All right, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. So that is me. I'll see you later.